Welcome back to Mint, where we explore the world of personal finance, simplifying it and making it relatable for you. Whether you're looking to earn, spend, save or invest, we've got you covered. Snail farming is emerging as one of Kenya's newest agribusiness ventures. With demand growing both locally and internationally, farmers are proving that even the slowest creatures can yield quick profits. From breeder stock to booming sales, meet Ephraim Okeo, the farmer turning shells into shillings. In the heart of Nairobi's bustling neighborhoods, an unlikely business is quietly turning heads. One young entrepreneur is transforming slimy creatures into opportunity, nutrition, and even beauty products.
Before I started, I was working with a certain organization. So we started with training people how they could grow their own food with the kitchen gardens and everything. I figured out which source of protein that I could provide. So the answer came to the snails. I did a lot of research and I saw it as an opportunity, something that people could embrace here in Kenya and also generate income out of it. Later on, after starting, I did a lot of market through the social media. Then there's a day I got the first client who was a Kenyan. So that motivated me even more.
From nutrition to income, his idea grew into a farm that offers much more than just meat. From slime for skincare to shell powder for animal feed, Kono Farm is proving that humble snails have many uses.
I went to a certain farm. I acquired the breeder stock. I purchased around 5 kgs. Some of the breeders died because I had no knowledge about heliculture. So from there now, I went for training, got the certificate, and after that one, I now acquired a KWS permit because snails are considered wildlife. Then later on, I was in business.
Today, most of his customers are expatriates, largely Nigerian and Chinese restaurants in Kenya. Beyond meat, snails provide valuable slime which Kono Farm now uses to produce its own skincare line. The shells are also crushed into powder for animal feeds, while the intestines serve as food for fish and poultry.
Currently, we ain't meeting the demand, and so we want to construct other snaileries where people can access this snail meat.
So far, Kono Farm has launched 4 organic skincare products: nail cream, body cream, face cream, along with soaps, body wash, and serums. With demand growing locally and abroad, the goal is expansion, more production units, and a wider skincare line.
To tackle the challenge that we have of meeting the demand, we usually do training workshops. We organize workshops each and every Saturdays of the month. So after we train farmers, we enable them to start their own farms with the structures and everything. We provide the breeder stock. We also link them with the market directly and indirectly. What I will encourage the young youths is not wait for opportunities, but to create opportunities. I can encourage them to just start. Kama mimi, I just started with like 5 kgs. Right now I'm producing more than 100 kgs every month. We usually sell the snails in kgs, and the price for the snails depends on the cost of production. The prices varies, so with the alive ones we sell at a minimum cost of 2,000 shillings per kg. And we have the extracted fresh meat. That one we sell at a minimum of 3,000 per kg. Then we have the oven dried. Oven dried is 3,500 per kilo.
Snail farming is not capital intensive, and the feeds are readily available. From wooden boxes for urban farmers to net houses and concrete pens for large-scale setups, structures can be tailored to budget and scale, making snail farming possible in both rural and urban areas.
This is one of the giant African land snails. So the snail has a lifespan of 5 years, and the snail can grow up to 20 centimeters.
Snails may be slow movers, they have fascinating biology and breeding patterns. Fun fact is that they are hermaphrodites. Red soil is ideal for farming them, and when it comes to reproduction, each snail can lay up to 200 eggs per clutch, 6 times a year, with eggs hatching in 3 to 4 weeks.
If you're doing snail farming commercially, what we usually do is harvest the snails when they reach 140 grams and above. The snails takes like 4 to 5 months to gain that 140 grams. A kg will contain like around 10 to 15 pieces of snails. These are the live ones, but for the meat, the number will double. That's why the snail meat is a bit expensive.
And it's not just about him. Through workshops and training, Kono Farm is creating opportunities for others to earn, innovate, and feed their families.
At our monthly workshops, we usually prepare the snail meat. We show them on how to prepare, how to extract the meat from the shell, different ways to prepare the meat. They also taste the snails and find the meat amazing.
If you have seen the variety of clothes branded Home 254, then you have seen the handiwork of Brian Jura. Brian was destined to be an engineer, but as he pursued his studies, he reached a point where he asked himself an important but often intimidating question: what do I really want to be? With a loan of 5,000 shillings, Brian established Home 254 in 2016, initially purchasing ready-made stitched hoodies and sweatpants and branding them with the Home 254 logo. After a few years in the business, he began making his own clothes, and the rest, as they say, is history. Here's his story.
It is 2020, 2 years after Job Brian Jura, whose friends know better as JB, borrowed 200,000 shillings to help grow Home 254, the company he started in 2015. JB was reluctant to give up a portion of his business, and so he rolled up his sleeves and got into a frenzy of work that was so intense he has blocked out the details of what he did to dig himself out of the hole. To get out of the bad deal, JB secured a better business deal and successfully repaid the investment, overcoming this make-or-break situation. Getting the investors to get off his back was one of the first big hurdles JB dealt with as he grew Home 254. The idea to create a clothing brand started at Juja as a young engineering student went about his studies.
GOtv Electronics and Computer Engineering, 4th year. That's when I started. I didn't used to like how people used to wear the nguo za green ama red ama white. Hiyo flag ya Kenya unashona no shati. So 2015 ndo nilianza hii hustle. The funds came from part of it came from my rent and an M-Shwari loan of 2,400, so that's 4,800, just to get some pieces from River Road. That time we used to get them from River Road. We were not stitching anything, just buying ready-made stuff, brand it.
And that's exactly how a lot of brands do it. They buy ready-made clothes, put their brand name on them, and put them on the market. JB, however, realized that walking the same path as the rest in the market would not make Home 254 any different.
So I just searched where to brand clothes. There's so many places you can get. The quality is not that good, but that's what we had. Then there's a person at that time used to sell hoodies and sweatpants and sweatshirts. So we bought a few of those pieces. Then again, it's at this place where we used to brand.
Home 254 picked up, and JB decided to invest in a small shop in the Nairobi CBD area. At this point, his clothing was receiving attention, and through referrals, the orders started pouring in.
Our first personal space was around 2018. Yeah, we had a small cubicle, like I think 5 by 5, or it was just a small space. Then we stayed there for a while. Then I found, you see, when you're working in a space where this person produces for more people, you'll meet other businesses there. So then I used to see someone coming with ready-made hoodies. So I used to ask them, where do you get your hoodie? Then they say they make for themselves. Then I asked them, can you make for me? Yeah, that's how I got to do hoodies from that other person. Then their business started humbling, Then one of their tailors, I asked him if he could work for me. And he kind of agreed. And these other people agreed to sell fabric to me.
In 2019, Home 254 landed a lucrative deal with Coke Studio Africa, which enabled them to produce hoodies in 3 different markets. As a result of this partnership, Home 254 experienced growth and relocated its main operations from a small space in Nairobi CBD to a factory in Juja. His new quest took him to China to familiarize himself with the business of fabric and imports.
In 2019-2020, That's why we had our breakthrough. We got a deal from Coke Studio. We're the ones who did Coke Studio, Nigeria, Uganda, Kenya. But this deal, I had to take it to that person because I didn't have any stitching things or anything. Then Coke Studio paid us. That was my first time to see such a big check. But all that money, I put it back into the business.
JB's journey has been one of creativity and rediscovery, bringing together a passion for fashion and sustainability.
Our brand is supposed to be a high-level brand in Kenya. We are kind of zero-waste kind of company. We are a made-to-order kind of brand, which is our main model that controls around 80% of our business. Then we have made-to-stock now. But we're not doing just made-to-stock, we're doing a controlled stock.
He soldiers on, and JB's dream is to build a sustainable fashion brand and see Home 254 listed at the Nairobi Securities Exchange.
For the brand, first of all, it's just sharing that feeling of Kenya. Let me tell you, just seeing someone even at the airport, at the streets. You know how it feels like if you walk out here and find someone in Home 254, then a stranger, then just say hi. That feeling is crazy because they know this is a Kenyan-made brand.
Brian's story reinforces that patience is indeed a virtue in one's journey, which can take several turns before it finally bears fruit. His one leap of faith into the clothing business has become a successful brand inspiring designers and entrepreneurs in the 254. This wraps up today's episode of Mint, Money Made Simple, your essential guide to personal finance designed to help you make your money work smarter for you. For more information, visit mint@mula.co.ke or tv47.digital. Stay safe and keep minting. Until next week, I'm Lydia Nyawera.